So I was first diagnosed with CLL, which is chronic lymphocytic leukemia, in January 2003, which is a form of blood cancer where basically your white cell count doesn't die, and it basically, when you get an infection, your white cell count just grows and grows and grows. I think it was about August, September time of 2002, my wife got some kind of infection. She was really down with it for about a week or two. And then after a week or two of her recovering that, I got one and got the same symptoms. And I went in and goes, Claire, I know you think I'm making too much of this, but I've got this weird rash on my stomach. So I lifted my top up and I just had these red marks all over us and stuff like that. And she thought, that doesn't sound right. So we went off to the doctors, did a few things. I think I probably went on some tablets or something like that. I'm sure she did a blood count. And she said, your blood count, when it came back, when I'd next gone to see her, she said it was pretty high, but I'm sure that's because of the infection. So I went off to see a consultant there called Fiona, and she went through a number of things that it could be, and she mentioned about CLL, but she says, you're under 40 at the time, so it's not going to be that, I'm sure about that. So I went back in a month later in the January, and she said, unfortunately, Paul, yes it is. It's always a bit of a bombshell and that, and then a few days later you calm down and everything, then you start looking into it. I was given like leaflets and everything like that, which I read through, so I'll get a bit more of understanding. But I think it was my wife who then went on to the good old internet to find out a bit more about it. With leukemia and that, what they'll try and do is, as I say, watch and wait, which is basically they will see how your blood count goes, that you'll go to the hospital, I think it was every 6 months, I think at the first time, and you would get blood tests done and they would see how your white cell count was behaving. So I had my transplant 2012, so I'm now 6 years out of transplant. It was a long case out of the transplant and that to get back to my normal thing. So I was a runner before I was diagnosed. I did the Great North Run. I've done it about 3 or 4 times, but getting back to me running was like a main thing, and just being able to do that again and go running, it's been like great. I would say to try and remain positive, and the fact is that they're putting you on watch and wait because they know they don't have to interfere straight away with it, which yeah, you probably want get this out of me type of thing, but it is the best way and stuff like that. I know it doesn't sound that way, but in the long run it is, because basically if they're not interfering with you, not sticking poison down your neck, which basically what chemo is, then you've got to take the positive. Fact is that you are in a position where you are, yeah, you're not completely 100% okay, but you're functioning and stuff like that, and I went through and I could still do my job, and you'll still be able to do your job and everything like that on watch and wait.